Hello everybody, this is Vincent Grosso here and welcome back to another episode on my channel. This is My Visually Impaired Life, and today I wanted to talk about another hobby video. But this is a new hobby to me, something I did not think I could even accomplish as a visually impaired person. What is the hobby you're thinking of? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's paintball. I got my paintball gun, I got my paintball mask, and I went out and played, even with my white cane. Let's talk about it right now. Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to talk about paintball. So the paintball aspect for me was an impossibility. I didn't think that it would be accomplishable. I didn't think it was worth even trying. And my neighbors, they were awesome, and they kept trying to get me out of my house to go do it. And eventually, I bit the bullet and I tried it. However, I will confess, I did it with... It took a lot of trying to get to do it. Let's just put it that way. So let me start from the beginning of the story, alright? Well, first off, I want to give props to O.S.G Paintball out of Barnstead, New Hampshire. They are an amazing facility. They have a whole bunch of different fields, everything from Star Wars to drivable tank battles that shoot paintballs to helicopters that are built out of wood, and urban towns where you got like huts that you got to get in and out of. It's just amazing, amazing fields. Unfortunately, I was only there for a little less than a half of a day visit, so I will be going back to see more of these fields. But I went, it was my first time. I was a little nervous, I will admit, but I sucked it up, I went, and it was fun. So I just wanted to say big props to O.S.G Paintball because they treated me like a king there. And the best part about O.S.G was not once did they make me feel like I was visually impaired or blind. Even though I was walking around with a white cane, even though I was running on the field, or at least trying to run on the field with a white cane, not once did they make me feel like a blind or a visually impaired individual. They did not baby me. They did not tell me that I could or could not do something. They did not treat me any different than anybody else that was on that field. And for that, I say thank you guys. So, anybody that's ever in New Hampshire, if you're in the Barnstead area, you definitely want to hit this company up. I will make sure that their address and information is in the description down below. If you ever want to go and find out any more information, they have an awesome website that you can go and check out for yourself. And they sell paintball gear as well for fairly good prices too. Because I was shopping around, see what my future is going to be with buying paintball stuff, and paintball is an expensive thing to get into. So, but the good thing about paintball is you can do it over time. You don't have to buy everything at once. Especially if you're like me and you got wonderful friends that can help you with free supplies and borrowing guns and all that goodies. So, but there's my shout out to you, O.S.G. I felt that you were well deserved on it and you gave me a great experience, so thank you. But let me get to how this happened for me. Okay, so I have two wonderful neighbors named John and Katie Card. They kept telling me every couple months or whatever, you know, because they played professional paintball. They're sponsored. They go to they travel all the way to New York at times, and they do all these events and everything, and they love it. And they were telling me I should try it, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm blind, you know, I'm visually impaired, and I can't see past 4 feet. I mean, I'm looking at my camera right now. I can kind of see it, like 1% in my vision. It's like gone. So if I did not know where it's placed all the time, I wouldn't even be able to look at it. That's how far off I can't see it. So playing paintball and shooting a person that's shooting back at me that's sighted kind of seems off the plate for me. So I wasn't going to do it. I kept brushing it off. Well, they kept telling me to try it. It's not what you think, they kept saying to me. And I kept assuming, yeah, it is. I'm just going to be a walking target. And it's not the paintballs that I'm worried about. It's my knees. So since I became visually impaired, my knees were always bad from being a mechanic and stuff like that. But like just any normal wear, then anybody's got it 34, 35 years. But because I'm visually impaired now, my knees are really bad. So The reason that is because if I'm not bumping into things, bumping my knees on things before I had my white cane, now that I get my white cane, I still have to deal with level changes, grounds fluctuate, I can fall into a hole, not see it, and I've overextended my legs many occasions. I fall down stairs, like whenever I get to like the last 2 or 3 steps and think I'm at the last step and I'm not. I do that often still, even with my cane. I do it at home, my own steps even. You would think I would be counting steps by now, but I'm not. I gotta start remedying these things. Can't speak English, but yeah. So I'm constantly hurting my legs, and they don't work as well as they used to. My knees. So I was envisioning myself going to play paintball and my knees giving out. And it's been really painful because my knee gives out ever so often and it hurts. So I can imagine, like, when I was playing paintball, I could only imagine that it would be so far gone that I would seriously injure myself permanently. So I was worried about that. So even though they kept saying it, you know, I brushed it off. And then one day they came up to me and said, well, there's a MagFed event and it's free in Barnstead. And I said, really? And they said, yes. So I was like, maybe they were going to supply me with everything I needed to play. It was free entry. I would only have to pay for like paintballs and stuff, which is really cheap. And my stepson really wants to play. All his friends play. That's what kids in Barnstead really do over here. O.S.G, by the way, is considered the #1 facility to play paintball in all New England. And they happen to be only 4.1 miles from my doorstep. So that is not that far. So, and I never even thought to try paintball. Well, I considered and I said, okay. Now, I got a confession. Even though I said okay, I wasn't going to go. So I know my son wanted to go, but in the back of my mind, I was trying to think of excuses I could come up with that maybe my son could go with them, but I didn't have to go. And all I can envision is I'm a walking target for free, you know, shots, and I'm going to get hit a million times, have welts all over me, or I'm going to hurt a knee. So I just didn't want that to be the case, but you know, I was thinking of excuses and excuses. Well, a friend of my neighbors ended up getting in touch with them and saying, you know, I have this guy Josh that he's blind and he plays, and you know, maybe he could talk to your friend Vinny. Well, that's exactly what happened. So this guy by the name of Josh Crary, and if you're watching this, Josh, thank you so much, man. You are amazing, and yes, you're inspirational to me because you let me know of a new venue in life that I can do. Well, Josh, by the way, is, like I said, he's blind, but he's not necessarily completely blind. He's visually impaired just like me. So Josh has very similar vision to me, even though he has a total different eye condition. I have LHON, where he has, you know, a rare form of RP, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that's what he told me. I don't want to 100% put that on a fact list, but I have not had the chance to talk to him since filming this. So I will talk to him, and I'm hoping in the future he's going to come on my channel and he's going to do an interview, one-on-one. But Josh came out and played. So how'd this happen? Well, Josh got on the phone with me eventually through communication with my neighbor, and we ended up chatting on the phone, and he officially told me he wasn't going to come. He couldn't make it. I guess he lives all the way in Boston, Massachusetts, but he has family who lives over here. And I just assumed he wasn't going to come, and then I find out the week before, as I'm thinking of excuses in my mind not to go, that he is definitely showing up on behalf of me. And that made me feel like, no, I have to go now. So I did. I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And I got there. I got all suited up. I'm nervous as heck. I see hundreds of people there. And even with my vision, I could tell there was lots of people there. And I was nervous. And then I see Josh and sitting down at the picnic table, not knowing where we are. My neighbor actually approached me and told me he was there, and she walked me over to him, and I introduced myself, and I got to shake hands with the kid, find out he's a little younger than me, but very similar vision. He has no central vision, a little bit of peripheral, and That's about it, same as me. However, his vision is even worse than mine. So how do I know this? Because when we were walking trails, because you have to take trails to go from one field to another field, I could not see the roots or the rocks on the ground. I was tripping over everything, which I'm not used to walking in trails, so it's really bad. Like one time I was walking up a hill as I'm talking to Josh, and I did not even realize it. So I kind of fell down like a little hill, and that was kind of embarrassing. But anyway, the reason I knew is because when we come up to a tree, I could see that tree at 3 feet. Josh could not see that. Josh was like clearly about to walk into it. If it wasn't for his cane, he would have definitely hit it. Me, however, it comes through a little bit sooner than him, so I was able to avoid certain trees and stuff. That's not saying that there's trees I didn't see, obviously, if they were my dead spots, but there was those definite spots that he has definitely worse vision than me. So just saying this to let you know that this guy is sponsored, has his own jersey, has a really cool team called Handicap Attack, and he plays full on. He doesn't mess around. So it let me know at the moment that maybe this is possible. Maybe I am overthinking it. So when we got into the field, the people at O.S.G, they told us the rules. They talked to us like anybody else. They didn't baby us or anything. The guy sees us both with our white canes out, yet he's talking about no shooting blind. And, you know, that means just raising the gun up and just pulling the trigger. He treated us as if, you know, because we could have done that. I mean, we can't see ahead of us after 3 or 4 feet. So we could have done that, but no, he still went by the rules, how they were, looking, you know, in our direction and everything. So, yeah, that said, we got on the field and they did baby us a little, but only when we asked. So Josh asked the gentleman if we could start off from one of the bunkers in about 15 feet ahead, because what they do is they start each team on the ends of this field, and then when they say go, you all have to meet to the middle and you got to take out each one as you can, so until the last man standing. Well, we started out in the bunkers, but we had to count for 6 seconds before we could start pulling the trigger, and we did just that. So I'm hunkered down. They ask both sides ready, and then we say yes, and then they say go, and then everybody just starts shooting, and all of a sudden you're hearing the paintballs flying by, and that was really, really cool. So I could hear the paintballs hitting the outside of the bunker I'm in, which is all logs stacked up around each other, and that was pretty cool. My stepson was sitting next to me, and he got hit and taken out. So I mean, I could have easily gotten taken out, and I'm like, well, I'm looking at Josh's area. I'm like in his direction. I say, what are we going to do about this? Like, what am I supposed to do? And Josh said to one of the teammates, he said, any teammate in front? And one said yes. And he goes, tell me what's in front of us right now. How many enemies? And the guy said, you have 2 enemies down your central, right down your 0. So Josh looked at me and he said, they're right in front of us about 50 feet. He said, get up and start shooting in that direction. So I did just what he said. And MagFed, if you don't know what MagFed is like scale-to-scale guns. So an AR looks like an AR in paintball. You have a magazine or a clip in your gun, and that magazine will hold only like 30-something rounds maybe of paintballs, just as if you were having a real AR and it would only hold 30 rounds of 5.56 or something. So bullets. So I had my first clip, only had 7 rounds in it. So what I did was I got up over the log and I shot straight ahead, 1, 2, 3, and I sat back down really fast. And then as I'm creeping, I did it again. Got up, 1, 2, 3, and then second time I hear something smack like plastic. And then I hear, I'm out! And I get back down and I'm saying to Josh, I said, I think I hit somebody. And Josh goes, I think you did too. Because you could clearly hear the paintball. As soon as I hit the trigger, you heard the paintball smack plastic. And what happened was we ended up shooting the whole rest of the round and everything. We didn't move from that one spot because this particular field was just full of roots and rocks. It would have tripped the second. Like everywhere there's roots and rocks and things to jump over. So We stayed in that location. We ended up winning the match, which was really cool. And at the end, the referee comes up to me and he says, I just want you to know you got a headshot. You hit the guy in the mask. And I said, really? And he said, yes, you did. So I got a shot from 50 feet away, a headshot on top of it, and as soon as that happened, I was grinning ear to ear, and I said, man, I am playing paintball. This is awesome. So we ended up going back, refilling, recharging the tanks, doing whatever we had to do between the fields. And then we went to a second field, and Josh and I got to start from the very back with everybody else. No, we didn't have to go up front or anything because this field was different. So this was the urban field, and it's all white huts. It looks kind of like a mix between Afghanistan or the Philippines, like where the houses are really close and this and that. So with the green grass and the trees in the background, was surrounded by trees, but it was an open field, like a soccer field kind of deal. And the cool thing about this was I didn't have to worry about tripping over rocks or roots. I could see all the huts because they were bright white on the green contrast. And the trees in the far back distance to me looked like a solid blob of black or brown or whatever. So even with my peripheral. So I could still, it made it easier to see the contrast of these white huts. So it was a little bit more fun for me. I was able to run from hut to hut. Not really run. We still had our canes, and we had a cane and everything. But we had our canes in our hand, and then when we got to the hut, we dug down deep in the corner, and we listened. And we listened for people ahead of us coming our direction, because they're trying to work their way towards you. And what we did is we kind of camped, and we listened, and as soon as we heard footsteps, we looked over the corner and just started shooting. And then we went back. And then we did it again, shooting. And what happened was I ended up looking over the third time, and I heard someone. And then in my peripheral, I thought I saw movement. So I went to go pop the trigger, and then before I could hit the trigger, I got smacked right in the arm. I got hit. So I was out. I had to raise my hand and say, I'm out. And I walked over to the side of the field, and I caned my way around the wall. So all you had to do was follow the wall, and then until you got to the group of all the other people that were out. That was it. It was very simple. It wasn't hard, and nobody shot me when I had my hand up in the air. Nobody. So the good thing about MagFed is it's not like regular paintball where you get a whole hopper full of like 300 paintballs or whatever. So you don't have to worry about 10 paintballs coming your way. So people have to conserve how much ammo they have in those clips. So they shoot at you once, they hide, they bob and weave, they go, or they get up to you close and they tag you out. So that's what happened. So I ended up going out twice in the second round. They said I got someone else out, but I didn't hear anybody say out, and I wasn't about to believe it. The first one was guaranteed because the ref even saw it and told me. The second time I wasn't so sure, but it was still fun, and even though I got shot, it wasn't like I thought. I didn't get shot a million times. So yes, I had a blast. So all I gotta say is, for you, if you're visually impaired or blind, do not be afraid to try new things. That's what I'm doing. This channel, I want to try to do things I think I can't. So next I'm going to try to play some golf, because I used to be good at it, and I'm going to try a whole bunch of other things. I went deep sea fishing. That's going to be my next video. And yeah, just try it, everybody, and please look into it. If you have a paintball field near you, go with a friend and try. I would have had a sighted guide with me through the whole thing, and that's what we were planning on, but I didn't. I went with another visually impaired person, and we still held our ground. We weren't out in 2 minutes. We were on that field. We finished a whole match and then tried another match. You know what I mean? So I didn't, die in 5 minutes. So it's pretty fun, and you guys gotta try it. You won't know until you try. Yes, there's fields on that that I would definitely not be able to do, like the ones where you gotta climb rocks, or you gotta climb a tower, or you gotta go up a hill, well, maybe a hill, depending on what that hill looks like. I don't know, or what the terrain is. But it's not going to stop me from trying it. And if it's too hard, it's too hard. I just stick to the other fields, right? So that's 2 fields I know I can do. Now, guys, if you have done paintball or airsoft or anything like this, visually impaired or blind, please tell me about it in the comment section down below. And make sure you subscribe to this channel, alright, if you have not done so, and ring the bell, because you're not going to get my upcoming videos unless you do so. So I've been loving YouTube and I am not stopping. I got so many things I've been doing and so many videos that are going to be coming out on different things. I'm trying to make the most of my summer. Last summer was miserable for me because I was in the deep of my depression and everything, and I was in the process of not being able to do my job, this and that. This year, I'm doing a 360. I'm not trying to fix my eyes, I'm trying to fix my life. So, please leave a comment down below, like the video if you like the video, and as I always say, I love you all, and I can't wait till the next video. You guys, enjoy your week. See you later.